Good morning, children. Class 9th Statistics. So, statistics is the word which has taken from Greek, which is either to denote a numerical data or scientific study of such data. Through this, science makes us of mathematical techniques and computations. Yes, so it is a branch of mathematics. So, father of statistics is Ronald Fisher. So, he derived a lot of statistical formulas. And before going to discuss about statistics, so we need to understand about what is data and what is information. For example, I want to construct a building, so I need some raw materials like bricks, sand, iron, cement. So all these called resources or raw materials, and we have some data that is nothing but map, right? So finally we will get a building, that is called information, right? So data and information, both of them are not same, we have a slight difference, right? See, I will give you one more example. For example, if you are going to enter numerals or numbers through keyboard, that is called data. Finally we have to get the information from the monitor. So the data is a collection of facts such as numbers or words or measurements or observations, right? And the range of the data. The range of the data means, so the difference between the highest and lowest values in the given data is called range of the data. So we can define the formula: range equals to highest value minus lowest value. So what is the range of first 10 natural numbers, for example? So first 10 natural numbers means the highest number is 10, lowest number is 1, right? The 10 minus 1, that equals to 9. The range of the first 10 natural numbers is 9. And here we are going to discuss about what is primary data and what is secondary data. Primary data means data collected by directly from the resources from the observations, right? So primarily what we are taking, that is called primary data. The secondary data means the data gathered from a source, whether it already exists, is called secondary data. Means, for example, if you take mobile, the mobile has internally, it has some memory, that is called internal memory, is nothing but primary data. So if you want to take more information and if you want to insert more information, we need to use some memory cards, external cards. Those are called secondary data. Okay, and here we are going to learn about one more important thing and one more important word, that is called frequency. The number of times a value occurs in the given data is called frequency of that value. For example, in a class there are 20 students, right? So now I am going to conduct a small test for 20 marks. So how many number of students got between 0 to 5? How many number of students, right? Between 5 to 10, between 10 to 15 and 50 to 20. So the number of students indicates frequency. The number of students, number of employees, number of objects, number of numbers, the number of items which are exists a particular class interval, that is called frequency. And here we are going to learn about the graphical representation of the data. So why we need to learn graphical representation? So if you are going to learn some theoretical concepts, so it will take more time to understand. So if you are going to learn some graphical representations, so we can easily understand and we can easily retrieve the data from the resources. So we have some graphical representations in this lesson. Those are bar graphs, histograms, frequency polygon and frequency curve, right? And here frequency polygon. Frequency polygon is formed by joining the midpoints of the adjacent rectangles in a histogram with the line segments. That is called frequency polygon. So while we are going to connect the frequency polygon, so we need to use scale. By using scale we are going to connect each and every point. Whereas frequency curve, no need to use scale. So by using freehand we are going to connect the midpoints of the adjacent rectangles. And frequency table. So frequency table plays major role while constructing either histogram or bar graph or frequency polygon or frequency curve. So a frequency table is a table that lists items and uses tally marks to record and show the number of times they occur. Yes, so here we have one of the example for frequency table. So here we have some inclusive classes 11 to 15, 16 to 20. So why? Because why they are inclusive classes? The upper limit of the first class is not equal to the lower limit of the next class. So this type of classes are called inclusive classes, whereas 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40 means the upper limit of the first class is equal to the lower limit of the next class. So that type of classes are called exclusive classes. So if you are going to 10th class, you are going to learn very clearly about inclusive and exclusives, right? So we are going to convert inclusive into exclusive. Such type of classes are called boundaries. So how to convert inclusive to exclusive? They are called boundaries, right? So less 0.5 to the lower limit and add 0.5 to the upper limit, right? So in this way we can convert inclusive to exclusive. Means if you are going to higher sections, while finding median and mode in grouped data, we need to convert inclusive into exclusive, then only we can find out. So we have one of the parameter lower limit. Okay, right. Here we have the student's favorite juices. Here the small example for bar graph. So on the y-axis we have number of students, on x-axis we have 4 types of juices, right? Some red, orange and yellow and purple. See, simply each and every bar is denoted by rectangles. Not only in bar graph, in histograms also we are using only rectangles. But there is a small difference between bar graphs and histograms. In bar graphs we have a space between 2 bars. In histograms we are not having any space between 2 bars. See here, histogram. A histogram is a form of bar graph which is used for continuous class intervals. Means there is no gap between 2 bar graphs. Okay, the bars do not have gap between them, right? See here we have a small example for histogram, right? So there is no gap between red, pink, yellow and green and blue, right? And here a small example for frequency polygon. So in histogram, if you are joining the midpoints of the bars by using scale, so it is the small example for frequency polygon. And here measures of central tendency, the most important measures of central tendency. Why we call measures of central tendency? For example, if you want to measure distance, we need some kilometers or meters or centimeters. Small distances to big distance. Similarly, if you want to measure some liquid, so we need some liters. Similarly, if I want to measure any statistical data, so we have some measures. Those measures are called measures of central tendency. So here we have 3 measures of central tendencies. Those are mean, mode and median. So mean means the sum of the observations by number of observations. Mode means the most frequently repeating or occurring observation. The median means the most middle observations of the given data. But before going to find out the median, we need to arrange either ascending order or descending order. It's a mandatory. Without arranging either ascending order or descending order, we are unable to find out median. If you find out directly by using given observations, it's wrong, right? Here we have, in 9th class we have only mean in grouped data. We are not having median and mode in grouped data. So we are going to learn in 10th class. We have only mean, right? That's why here mean, the definition for mean is here, sum of the observations by number of observations. So we have some uses about mean. So we have some merits and as well as demerits. That's why we have another methods. Here in 9th class we are going to learn only direct method. So we have 2 more methods, that is deviation method or assumed mean method, and the last one is step deviation method. These 2 methods are going to learn in 10th class. So mean is used to measure GDP, that is a gross domestic product. I think you are aware in social studies, GDP, right? So if you take any country, it's purely based on its GDP, means gross domestic product, right? So I think we can easily observe the mean in cricket matches. evaluate the averages of batsmen and bowlers, right, or between two countries. And here we have one of the example and formula. So arithmetic mean or average, all are same, that is x bar equal to sigma xi by n, where sum of the observations. So sigma is the symbol to represent sum of. So here we have a small example, right? Here we have some observations 65, 78, 82 and 94 and 71 are marks of the test. Then sum of the observations by number of observations, that is average equals to 78. Okay, so here we have some questions on ungrouped data. So just now I said about mean, median, mode and ungrouped data and how to find out. So mode is very easy, and once again I am going to say about mode. So sometimes the mode does not exist. For example, what is the mode of first and natural numbers? No mode. Why? Because there is no repeating value. That's why sometimes the given data does not exist mode. And if you are having only single mode, that is called unimodal data. Sometimes we have two modes, that is called bimodal data. So obviously we know very well about mean and median. So here we have some word problems, and as well as here I display even answers also. So please try to cross check, and please try to assume some questions on mean, median, mode of ungrouped data, so you can easily understand about ungrouped data of mean, median, mode. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.